Our family left our home in the St. Louis area and drove over 1,500 miles up to the coast of Maine, saw some lighthouses and a lot of beautiful scenery. Then we headed over to the mountains of Maine near the New Hampshire border. It's a very rugged place, very far away from everything, and that's just how we like it.
The area in Maine that we stayed after leaving the coast is called the Lakes and Mountains region. That area is so pristine and so quiet. There are a lot of ponds and a lot of pine trees, dense woods, very few people.
Once we land at a new house, I try to find an ideal place to set up the equipment for our family court reporting business. We set up a folding table and had quite a few laptops right there. It was kind of a funny sight to see 4 or 5 of us all there on our laptops. It looked like mission control or something.
It's pretty rare to be able to do this, to have our business wherever we go. And it's really the only way we could take these trips.
Hold your horses. Hold on. First we eat. And we got to clean up the mess we already made. And then we'll start the next mess we made. In October, the off season, the prices are so much cheaper for staying at these vacation homes. It can be 1/3 the price of their normal rates. And then I've got a kitchen, a full kitchen. I can cook all of our meals. We can bake. We've got refrigerators. We have cabinets. And we've got our own laundry facilities, which is essential with our crowd.
Mom is usually so taken up with the activities of the vacation home, so often some of the big guys will run out and do the shopping.
We had to fill up 3 carts.
Really?
3 full carts. It's like $350.
Okay.
Do you want us to help?
Yes. I'm here, okay? Are there fruits in the Jack place?
We got pizza crust and sauce and cheese and pepperonis. And we're going to make our own pizza. Whoa.
Put those, put them in that room.
Yeah.
Okay, that's just about 1/3 of the stuff. We better get the rest.
Yeah.
My goodness, you guys really did some shopping.
Yeah.
Oh my, we didn't need soda.
We got soda.
A lot of the things on the list didn't have quantities, so we just guessed.
Okay. Well, I usually do the shopping when we're at home if possible. Actually, it looks like they did a good job. I haven't seen the receipt yet, but it sounds like they did pretty well. But a little more generous on the goodies. But that's because I wasn't there. But that's okay, it's vacation time.
We first had to put the groceries away, and then we got to start on the pizza.
I don't think that'll be 6 pizzas. This isn't gonna go over 6 pizzas. I was thinking we could dump a bunch of hamburger on this one. Okay. It'll be like a specialty pizza.
All right, that can even go below some of the cheese.
Homemade pizza gets gobbled up usually as soon as it comes up. Usually it's like, pizza's done, gobble, 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 that one's gone. You know, pizza's done.
Pizza's done, everybody.
Sometimes I just have to kind of give up and say, okay, I'll come in. I'll wait until about the 6th pizza, then I'll come into the kitchen and hopefully something's left about then. Making pizza like that was actually one of my favorite moments of the trip. There's just something a little surreal about being so far away from it all and then just all being huddled together. I think sometimes the best moments of a trip are free. I can think back to one of our other trips when we were staying along the coast, and our favorite memory was just tumbling down some sand dunes.
The sand was incredibly soft, and they would make it look real dramatic, like they're taking someone and throwing them off. And the victim would slide down and kind of tumble, and then when they land, the whole idea to them, which they thought this was fun, is to look as broken and dead as you could and lay there for a while, which of course is not my dream come true to see them looking very broken, but to act like, oh man, I really would have much drama.
I would just get really dirty. Like I'd be covered with sand, and sometimes sand would get stuck between my teeth.
The younger guys had a lot of fun. I remember being at the top of one of the hills, battling with the little guys, trying to throw them down the hill. That was easy.
We were wrestling and trying to push each other off, and finally I pushed John off. Nobody could defeat me from this. I'm the king of the sand.
Haha! So you're the king of sand, are you?
Yes.
Well, I'm going to fight and I'll knock you off.
Peter and I had a final battle to see who really was the king of sand.
Art, no! No, no! 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 Don't push me off! No! Ah! You indeed are the king of sand!
It was so cold up there in Maine, so we were just hoping for some warm weather so we could get out and do some canoeing.
This is history being made. You're watching somebody figure something out.
This is Stevie Sailor.
It was so chilly when we first arrived, but it actually warmed up quite a bit, so we were able to canoe.
That's it. Oh, good. Now put both your feet
That
front.
work?
Put both your feet
Oh,
front.
David.
There. That's where you found me, isn't it? Okay, now. Now you don't get double off. No, no, that's right. High
Can
end.
you walk us?
Here.
Okay.
Like this.
You gonna get back?
The idea we wanted to talk.
Outside, spider. Oh, yeah, you got it.
Okay.
Hurry. Right here.
I destroyed one.
They like to swim. Okay.
Hey, David, how about we don't look anymore?
We'll let the spiders go on the dock. They can build a house there while we have fun.
Dad and Paul still wanted to talk while they were on the canoe, so they had this brilliant idea about facing each other.
There's something very wrong.
We're gonna try it.
This a push me, pull you, or just?
Mom did seem to appreciate our revolutionary new idea.
Well, I'm no expert canoe paddler, but I know enough to know you have to go the same direction.
So I guess I should go this.
I'm pretty sure you're supposed to paddle with each other, not against each other.
This is history being made.
Guys,
You're watching somebody figure something out.
I don't know. I bet you anything. Paul comes back, turning around.
I'll be spinning at some point.
Yeah, I kind of thought you might. But you can't tell him anything. Male pride. Yes, yes!
What I should have done is waited until we were out of sight of Mom before we made the switch with how we were sitting. You know, it's a shame that she kind of got the satisfaction of thinking that she was right because our idea was still good.
Bye-bye. See you later, alligator. Bye-bye.
The days that our family spent in Western Maine were sort of like the heart of the trip. It just was perfect timing to go away into the woods for a time with the family, a time of just holding still, canoeing out there on the lakes.
You kind of forget all the cares of the world. It's just beauty all around you.
It seems that a lot of the life-changing seasons within my life have happened when I was in a retreat setting. One night in spring of '73, I took my bicycle and just stepped out of my normal habits of life and went into a winding woods, a trail that led up to a retreat house. I went there with the idea of drawing closer to God, and I wound up getting two for the bargain, and that happened, but I also met my future wife.
When I was 13 and Rick was 17, we met at a prayer meeting at the King's House Retreat House. You know, I was 13, we met when I was 13, he was 17, but we didn't even start dating or be serious about each other until I was 15 and he was 19.
She was one of 10 kids in a large family that would come to these meetings. And I would just enjoy chatting with her, kidding with her. She was 4 years younger than me, thinking of her as like a kid sister.
We got to be good friends, and we're very few people coming to the prayer group that were young. There was maybe a group of 4 to 6 of us, and we'd get together as a group and just horse around and laugh. I mean, oh, we'd laugh and laugh, and we really had a good time. And then Rick went on a trip with a bunch of buddies out to Colorado, and somehow during that time he was going on the trip, something happened in his heart that he realized he missed me terribly.
I think it was at Kansas City. I was at a rest stop, and I remember being in the car and turning to one of the other people on the trip and just sort of blurting out, I think I left my heart at 421 South Jackson. That was the address where Kathy and her big family lived, a big old brick house in the corner there. And I remember coming home from Colorado, and it was a beautiful night, full moon out, And I remember we were standing by the brick of the house, and the moon was shining down. I just looked at her and she looked at me, and we just sort of knew. It was so quiet and so simple. There weren't fireworks. There weren't many words. It's just like, oh, I recognize you, you know, in my mind. And she kind of had this look like, you finally recognize it, don't you? You know, it was so simple.
We married when I was 19, Daddy was 23. My sisters got married, 2 of them, at 18 before us, and so I thought we were real mature waiting until we were 19. Now that sounds so young, but then I felt very ready. I think I was.
Really, the adventure that began in the spring of '73 when I rode my bike into that woods and stepped through the doors of that brick retreat center, that adventure hasn't ended. In a sense, it's been one long day ever since then.
They went that way in search of the fabled North Pond that is accessible only by going under a road. We thought we'd beat them to it by taking a shortcut, but instead it turned out to be a dead end, so we named it Bay of Disappointment. Now we're going to head that way because according to our instincts, our dead reckoning, and Seth's GPS, the lake opens up quite a bit over that way. So we think we'll be the first ones to get over there. We didn't find North Pond on our first attempt, but we had plans for a second expedition.
Well, we had been canoeing on Round Pond, but we heard rumors of a second hidden pond called North Pond, so we went out for an expedition.
Well, throughout the trip, I brought along a little camera.
Welcome to Maine, the way life should be.
Any place we went, like lighthouses or waterfalls, I brought it along, and the older guys called it the Jake Camp.
Be careful!
Are there any structures there?
You might drop it.
Since this one was so small, I could bring it on a canoe or a bike.
There were a series of tunnels we had to go under, and a couple of them were really low down that you had to kind of duck.
While we were canoeing in North Pond, we came across a big rock in the lake.
Yeah, no signs, huh? Looks like we're official. We've claimed this island.
We landed on it, and we called it Balboa Island because it's rocky in Rocky Balboa.
This is Rocky Isle. Have a name. Balboa Island. Balboa.
The island was pretty small. The whole thing was maybe like 20 feet by 20 feet.
The canoeing was really probably my favorite part of the entire trip. It's just so peaceful being out there with all the fall foliage, just the lake being so still. It just feels like you're the only one there.
We were looking forward to venturing out into the mountains of Maine and New Hampshire, but first we had to get some work done.
Guys had trash to do, get the laundry going, get everybody put together, and then we can go. Okay, now you look super handsome. Go eat.
I've looked at the map. Right across the border in New Hampshire are the White Mountains. It's cold and raw, but I think we can enjoy a great outdoors hike and catch some beautiful sights.
New Hampshire, guys. Here's New Hampshire. Yay! That's a pretty straight ahead.
Boy, it doesn't feel like you're in the Northeast, does it? It almost feels like Colorado or something.
That's gotta be snow. We were headed to go visit Mount Washington, which is, I think, the highest mountain in that area. But we hadn't really anticipated that being a high mountain, it might have snow, and it was cold.
Mom, when you're on a mountain, do you weigh less?
Did Mark tell you this?
Is that or something?
Let's check your source.
It's kind of a mind blower in a way.
When we arrived at Mount Washington, we noticed there was snow on the ground, which was pretty exciting. But right when we got up to the sign to enter.
Oh no, closed. Oh, open mid-May. Oh no.
Maybe yesterday was the long last day or something.
Guys, it closed yesterday, right after we left, until May now. I think we missed it by one day, and it wasn't going to open again until the next year, so we didn't end up going up there.
Okay, time to turn around. Be glad
David,
we don't have that.
I'm gonna go try to see if I can find a waterfall.
Rick had heard about a waterfall not far from there. And so when we couldn't do Mount Washington, we thought, hey, this would be another thing we could do. And so we headed that direction.
They have up here somewhere a moose, you know, for 17 miles they warn you that moose are real plentiful. So just keep your eyes open, over the next half an hour.
Honestly, I really wanted to see a moose. I've always wanted to see one, and I was kind of hoping we'd run into one. Not literally run into one, but, you know.
Apparently when you hit a moose, you kind of cut under them. You kind of knock their legs out, and they can come right onto the windshield. So it can be pretty hazardous. It's like a cow on stilts.
Guys, does it look like we're going toward the snow? I think we might be.
When we crossed into New Hampshire and it was snowing and we see these big orange signs warning about moose, the snow gets more heavy, I'm starting to wonder, wow, what have we gotten ourselves into? Hey guys, I'm going to turn into the waterfall to the left.
We made it to the waterfall without any close encounters with any moose, but it was still snowing, so Mom bundled everybody up.
Do you need another jacket? Yeah.
Half a mile or something.
Lots of snow. Take me moving here.
And then gloves. Oh, you got gloves. Good.
Hey, very fashionable.
Mark and Paul thought I looked like cheese. I'm not sure what kind of cheese.
Oh, it's cold out here, guys. Oh, Daddy. Oh, we're going to talk about David, look. We're going into the street.
Our car's all gone.
No, the car's going over top of us. Oh, isn't this beautiful? I think we're going to see waterfalls. Dana, hold on tight to be sure you got them good, honey.
Yeah, you just stay on this part, Dave. There. Look at that white water.
Oh, that's pretty. Except more coming this way.
That's from all that rain and snow we got.
Oh, wow. Isn't that pretty?
The waterfall we visited was actually, it had a lot of different waterfalls, so we kind of went on a trail to see all these different ones.
Hold on very tight and come the wood move on. If I'm not holding on to the kids myself, I make sure one of the older guys has them and has full responsibility, because it wouldn't take much for one of them to slide under the fences that they have, because they'll have like a guardrail, but the ground's slippery. Hello, Dad. You say hi, Daddy?
Help!
Tell Daddy where the waterfall is.
There's a waterfall right there.
All right. This is one of the prettiest ones I've ever seen. For one, just that it's got pine trees around it, but the giant rocks. And just how natural it is all around. It's just beautiful.
She got mute on the ground.
I want to keep my handle on because you have gloves on and I don't.
Yeah. I think it helps us to get closer to each other, to go on these hikes. You know, the older guys are helping the little guys are wanting the big guys to pick them up so they can see this or that, or they know they need someone big next to them so they can do these things. We live together, but everyone has their responsibilities, and you can almost not see each other. Here it's like there's nothing else on our mind but each other and God's nature, and it just makes you appreciate that you are a family and that you're getting to spend some time together. It's really precious to me. I guess we had to all look how pretty the lake looks now. Wow.
Sure, now it's warm.
Oh, yeah.
In a large family, when you're constantly called upon to make decisions or lead the way or solve something, another part of you can become starved or dry. So I often go out, and I just like the whole concept of retreats. Just taking a deep breath, and for me it's a time, as far as I remember, a time to pray and just say, God, here I am, thank you. And really to count my blessings, ask for new strength, just kind of line myself up. It's worth the time spent, because when you come back to whatever you're doing, you're so much more fresh, you're recharged, and more light and more free.
It's so far away from everything. It's rugged, it's natural, and sometimes the farther away you get from home, the closer you get to each other.